Becky, click off one of your sites. You're on twice. Pick one or the other and then click on the phone and one of them will disconnect on you.
Okay, so it is 10:30 and I'm going to put the sign-in sheet into the chat one more time if you didn't get that. So if you haven't signed in, you're just coming into our session. It's in the chat, and today's session is about boom cards. So I'll be sharing my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. And let's see. All right, so boom cards are just a different way to present material to your students, usually just one problem at a time. You can create your own, or you can go to their store and find some in there created by other teachers. So I can show you what some of them look like. To sign in, it is free to use some of the cards. Some of them are free, some of them cost points, and you can purchase points. So you can see they're all different value, I guess, of points. But today I'm going to be showing you how to sign in, how to get your class started, and how to create your own cards in case you want to go ahead and get started with those. You can see there's also some free ones, so you can also look at that and see what free ones are available. So just to give you an idea of what one looks like, we'll look at a free one. Take a look at this one, and we'll go ahead and open it up. If I can, maybe I have to add it. I haven't added anyone else's to my own, so let's go ahead and do that. And we'll go to my library, and then I'll open it from there. And we'll preview it. Let's see, where's my preview button? So this is what it looks like for the students. And let me this away. So when the students are presented with a problem, they'll read it, they'll answer it, they can drag and drop. This one's asking the students to put the pictures in order. I didn't do it right, but if I didn't do it right, and I put them all here and I try to submit it, if I got some wrong, it's going to tell the students which ones are wrong. And so they can have a chance to fix that. Just randomly put them in there and I almost got them all right. So when it does get it right, it has a little ding. I don't think you can hear that, but it tells them that they got it right and they're able to go on to the next one. You do get feedback on these, and you can save all their answers, their data, things like that in your teacher dashboard. So I'm just going to go back. Yes, I'm going to quit. And let's go over here. So when you sign up, it's going to give you a chance to create a class. And did I get a question here? Nope, just a good morning. Okay, I heard something. So this is where you create your class. You can have your picture put in. This one just uses my Google picture. You can change that if you want to. You can change your name to whatever your students call you. If it's Miss Anita, Miss Chavez, things like that, you can change it here. You can also put about your classroom in this section right here. And so this is where we go to create a new class. And I have not started a class because I wanted to go ahead and do a little walkthrough with you. But this is my username here, and this is my password, and it's going to give you your URL. And So you can sign in here. So this is where you add your new students, and you can add many students at a time, or you can add one student at a time right here. So I'm just going to pretend I have my student here, John Doe, and I would make the passwords pretty easy for all my students, and pretty similar. I keep capitalizing that. So CMS John, and that way if your students forget their password, it's something that you can easily remember if it's maybe your mascot in your classroom, or your school mascot and then their name or first initials, first initial, last initial, things like that. You can do it that way. That's up to you. And then just press OK. And there's your there's your student. Like I said, you can add many students at one time and put the whole list of students. So if you have your list already, you can go ahead and copy paste them into there. I do not have a list of students, so I'm not going to. And then you can go ahead and set passwords here. You can print your roster out and things like that. As far as I know, it's not connected with Google Classroom. If any other teachers have used it and they know that it is, let me know, because I have not seen the little Google Classroom symbol where you can assign it through there. So, but that's how you get your class started. Pretty simple. And let's go look at how to create a card, a boop card. So you do have to sign up for your studio. It's going to ask you to put in like a little bio. All I put was my name and what my title is. You can extend that. So if you do put your items that you create into the store where you can sell your items, kind of like in Teachers Pay Teachers, things like that, you can do that. I think you do have to purchase not the free version of Boom cards. So like if this one says I'm on the trial, which is free, and I get 5 self-made decks without publishing. So if I do want to put those up for sale, if I create some, then I do have to purchase it. And they're not this, the Boom card to sign up for it isn't too expensive. We'll look at that a little bit later. So we'll go to make a deck, and right here is where we start. They do give you this one where it says get started, and it kind of gives you a walkthrough. I kind of found it to be a little tedious, and I didn't like their tutorial, but that's just me. I like to explore on my own. And so I went to create a new deck, and this is what the platform looks like when you're creating. You have a template card here. So anything that you put on the template card is going to show up on all your cards. So if you want a background to be on all the cards, this is where you would put it. But if you want the questions to be different every time, then put them on this next card. Anything you write on this one is going to also go on all the other cards. So if you're doing a certain Common Core standard, you can put that at the top, and that way it shows up on all of the cards, things like that. But I wouldn't put the questions, like a question button on the first one. So we're going to go ahead and dress up my first card. And what's nice about this is you can create your own backgrounds. You can put a color here, which just puts a plain one. But let's say you want to do some holiday stuff because Christmas is coming up. You can put your own backgrounds, and you can do that by going to Google Slides. And I've already created a few, and I've named them Boom Backgrounds. And so there's my Christmassy ones and just a few other fun ones. So let's say I want my Christmas lights and something green and red. I had to go in here and I changed the page setup to 7x4, and then I would download just this card. So I go to File, Download, and then I have to use either JPEG or PNG, so whichever one I want. So I go ahead and download that. And then I go back up to my boom cards, my background image. And you can see I've already downloaded quite a few, but I'm going to upload the one that I just downloaded, which is right here. And choose that one. So now I have this background and it's going to show up on all the cards even if I add more. So now I'm ready to create a button or an image or multiple choice. So I have all these options as far as questions go. So text, of course, you just drag and drop it and click into the box, kind of like you would in Google Slides. That is color. I don't know. I'm just going it as I go. And then, so if I want to put buttons in, so this would be a clickable button for the students to click on. You can change the text here, and if you want to add an image, you can put an image, and it's going to bring up the ones that you've uploaded. You can purchase some again, which are again by points, and you have tons and tons and tons of pictures here. But if you want, you can always just use your Google Slides, get pictures from in there. And so if you want a picture that you don't want to have to pay for, you can use this insert, look for a picture here, and let's say we want a present and we like this one. And so it is a little bit more tedious, but you don't have to pay for it this way. And then you would just do the same thing as we did earlier and download that slide. And then go back over here and go back here and upload that one. So, and then you can go ahead and size this. Whoops. Oops, I keep making it bigger. And I'm not sure if I can crop my picture. Where's the crop button? Size, rotate. It doesn't look like it. So I would have to do that before I upload it. And so there's how we upload pictures. But let's look at uploading a multiple choice. So here you have a multiple choice, which is something you would probably use more often in on your questions, and you say correct answer, and then it automatically gives you this first box as your correct one. You can barely see that it is highlighted in green and the rest are highlighted in red. You can switch that, but whenever you go to preview, it's going to go ahead and switch that for you. Whenever the kids are answering, it's not always going to be this top left one right here. So anytime you do make something and you want to make sure that it's working correctly, you do have that option to preview it so that even make sure that it works right. There were a lot of times when I was playing around with this and it was just not working the way I thought it would work. But you can put in your correct answers. You can even put in, instead of words, you can use pictures for your younger kiddos. So you can put audio. So if the students need to use something like the beginning sound, you can use that, but you do have to have the higher membership level. I'm not even sure. It says all accounts can play sound, so I'm not sure how to get that on there, or if I just have to keep using it to be a higher member. I have not figured that out yet. So if anyone that have used boom cards before know how to get the sound in there, please let me know, because I have not figured it out yet. But you can also use video. And so video is YouTube. You just simply put in the URL and then press OK, and then you can put your video in there. And so you can also have a video and a question on the same card. So if your kids need to watch the video before answering, you can have that as well. And of course, there's fill in the blank questions. And then you fill this out however you want them to answer it. So you type in the answer, and then, or if you want it numeric, or ignore this white space, multi-line, case sensitive, or open response. So you have all these different options when you're using the fill in the blank. And the font size, you can even change the font size, the font face, and where you want it, and even the color. So all of those different options. And so these are all the options you have here. And for you math teachers out there, you do have fractions, which is really nice. And you don't have to use like a separate like ratio or something else to bring that in. It's right here with the fraction button. And one last one, you have caption picture. So if you want an image with the caption right under it, you do that. So you simply click on something, and then you can pinata. Did I spell that right? No, I did not. I don't have my little fancy in, but there we go. And you can, whoops, move it around. Nope, move it around. Make sure I grab it from that little tab up there so it grabs it both together, and put it where I want to. All right, so another thing that, like I said, I was having trouble with was things like drag and drops. And you can do drag and drops with this program. So if I have an image, but I was reading that you have to have it smaller than the box that it goes in. So if I have this has to be bigger so that it fits inside of those boxes. Get that and make it a little bigger. And so my drag and drop, if I was supposed to drag it to the picture that matches or the letter that matches, something like that, I can do that. But I have to go over here and make him a draggable. And then I have to click on this outer box, and I have to click, make it a drop zone. And these individual ones also, whoops, have to be drop zones. So anytime I have a drag and drop, I have to make sure that they are connected. So this connects to that, and then I can preview what that looks like, and he gets dropped into those. Now some of the other ones have figured out if you make this also a draggable, and it's a little trickier. You can make it disappear like behind the scenes. So it kind of like, I guess some teachers have figured out how to make like monsters eat a cookie or something like that. But this would also have to be a draggable, but the students would be able to move that. When it's a drop zone, the students cannot move it when it's in play mode. So this one's not movable, but this one is. But if you make both draggables so that it kind of like pretends to, like it goes behind it, then it works. But the teachers, I think somebody was knocking. Oh, okay. And someone was saying we can import through Google Classroom. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Another cool feature that you have on here when you're setting up your cards is you do have the option to put some grid lines, so you make sure everything is lined up. So if you're pretty OCD a little bit like me, where it has to be straight, you can put your text on here, and you might want to make it like, I just want it right in the center or right to the very top, things like that. There we go. There's the knock. And so any questions on these buttons over here? I'll go over these options on this side in just a little bit. Does it mean we're trying to see how many people are interested in boom cards. I'm going to go to my boss and very sweetly with my nice little smile and say, you know what, we had a lot of interest. Can we please purchase this? But I cannot guarantee that my sweet smile will work. But I can ask, and hopefully if you are interested in these, then yes. And we can get you some more trainings. We can see if we can get, because like I said, let's go to, where's the, I guess it would be the store. Trying to see. It was when I first signed up, they like gave you the different options. So maybe I'm.
Anita,
Yes, ma'am.
are you wanting the membership plans?
Yes.
I have it on my screen. It's $15 for 3 classes and 50 kids a year, $25 for 5 classes, 150 kids, $30 for 7 classes, 150 kids, $35 for 8 classes, 200 kids, and you get everything on that one.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure they have district pricing as well, which will bring down the price significantly overall. So again, I can try and look into that and get some prices and send that to Dave to see what he would say. Let's see. We'll go back to the studio. And I have several, I don't even remember because I didn't name any of the decks that I made. So I don't remember which one I was in, but maybe it was this one. Okay. All right. So yes, these are more interactive, and whenever the kids are in it, it looks just like this. So that whenever kids are using Google Slides, they have to have the slide open if you want them to be interacting with the slides and be moving them around, things like that. Whereas this one, yeah, I didn't have anything on that one. So if you notice, if I had put something on here and I put the correct answer, it's going to give me that little chime for the students, and it goes to the next one. It tells me if they got it correct, things like that. If I drag it down, And I don't think I set this one up correctly, so this one's not going to do anything. So I do have to make sure that my cards are set up correctly before I send them to my kids. But there's that one. Videos are all on here, but everything is taken away so that it's not distracting, and it's usually one question at a time. You can put more questions on each card, but it does kind of help, I think, with especially younger kids, so they're not overwhelmed and getting a whole lot of questions all in one page, kind of like most assignments have, like the Envisions, worksheet. But these are to help the students maybe just refresh some concepts, or work on some things. If they're finished with their work, they can work on these. The students really like them, from what I've heard other teachers tell me, just because of the way it is set up. It's not really a game, but it is set up, I guess, differently than a worksheet or something that looks like they would just do on paper. And I think there's a few more questions, so I'm coming over here to check. And there were quite a few free ones to choose from. Heather, I don't know if you saw whenever I was in there. I'll go back to that. Yeah. So in the store, we have the free. And so all of these are the free ones. And you can see there's quite a few that are 0 points, which means they're free. I haven't gone all the way down the list, so I don't know, but it does look like there's quite a bit. And I just keep picking more and see more and more come up. So I don't know if there's a way to filter it to a specific subject, but I'm pretty sure there is. Yes. So you can filter it by grade and by subject. So if I just want some science and I want it for 2nd grade, it's going to give me all the free ones that are science and 2nd grade, which still looks like there's quite a bit. Pick more, and then there it starts to get to where there are 25 points. So here's all my free ones from here up that are science related, 2nd grade. So I would say there's quite a bit, and more. I guess the more that people use it, the more there's going to be some being added to that. But making them isn't too hard. You have any questions on the studio, as far as anything that I've already gone over? I would say it's probably about as easy as Smart Suite once you get into using it. And I'm not sure. We have Smart Learning Suite for 1 more year. So this might be a good way for me to like weasel this in, like, hey, Smart Suite's going away in a year. Maybe if we get teachers using this instead, maybe that'll be my angle. And no, so this is like completely different than Kami. Wouldn't work along with Kami at all. So, I mean, you could, I guess, send your students from Kami to tell you that, but I don't know. No, this would be separate than Cami. Oops, and I went to blank one. It's this one. All right. So when you're using the text button, notice whenever this is up, you have all your options to change your text, just like you would in Google Slides or any other Word document type of thing. You can change the color, you can change the alignment, the font, to a few different ones. There's not a whole lot of different ones in here. And the size, oops. And so pretty giant sizes up there. And you have those options here. And over here, you have where you can set the position. It's the word I was looking for. So it's in the center, horizontally and vertically. And if you don't want it there, you can just move it back up. You can align it according to the left bottom, top right, and you have the option to lock items. Once locked items are locked, they cannot be moved. A lot of teachers would probably appreciate that. You can put borders and backgrounds. Since I already put a border and a background on mine, I'm not going to use that. But you do have those options there. So when you have an image, you have some of the same options. Oops, let's make you smaller. So you have options to make them, again, like I said, draggables, or make it a drop zone where you can drop something into it. And you can duplicate your item so that you don't have to keep going into the image and creating more. You can delete an item from here. And of course, you have the same options as the text, is positioning and aligning it, things like that, locking it in place. And so you can even put a background on your images if you want to, just to make them stand out a little bit more. All right. I think that's all there is in this studio. So we'll go back. So that's how you create your own decks. And then you have some options here. You can clone your deck. You can share it with others. You can make it private. You can transfer it. And if you don't like it at all, you can just delete it. So like, let's say this one was the empty one. I didn't do anything on that one. So that one's gone. Yes, we're going to delete that one. And it didn't delete where to go. Oh. There we go. So that one's gone. That's it. Let's see. So after your students start working on your boom cards, you can go to reports. I won't have anything here, but you do have, here's an example here, and I can't really show you that, but if you go to the Help Center and you go to their YouTube channel, they can show you here what those reports look like. They can show you how to use the boom cards with just about any subject, and setting the classroom up, kind of like I showed you, teaching how to get started, and making them faster. You can be a pro at making boom cards. You can learn how to convert your already made Google Slides into boom cards. So if you already have you've been using Google Slides, you can learn how to turn them into boom cards. And it's probably somewhat like what I did with the background. Not entirely sure, but maybe. And that is their list of videos. So any other questions? Let me go back up. I missed a few. Awesome. So some of the PT teachers, OT and PT teachers are already using them. So yeah, you can make it as a lesson or you can set it just for study guides. There's ways where you can gather the data or you can make it just for study. So you don't have to get the data off of every single one of them if you don't want to. So that's what I was trying to get to, the data, but it is in the reports. Like I said, I don't have anything right now. So I don't have anything to show you, but it would be in reports after you send those out to your students. That's where you get the data from. The next button to change the cards. A finished card or lesson? Sure. So let's go back to Studio and let's take a look at, which one was it? This one. So if I go to preview and I just go to next, I'm going to say I give up on that one because I don't know what I did there. Okay. Don't remember what I put as my correct answers, so I'm just going to go on through next and next. That one's wrong too. I don't remember what I put for that one either. So that's what it looks like when it's all done. The kids will also get something like this, but it won't say end of preview. It'll say they finished, and I have not given it to the kids, so I don't know what it looks like for a student. I guess I could send it to my fake student that I've created here to try it out. I would think it just kind of ends just like that, and then you can have them like do the cards again, or you can have them go on to something else when they're finished. I do think it does like it gives them back the cards that they missed whenever, if they've missed any in the set, so it repeats those for them. So Candace, how has it been for your kids since you've been using it?
My kids do really enjoy the boom cards. But I was looking up, I tried the what's it called? Hyperplay link.
Oh, the fast
And-
player. Yeah.
Yes, and they couldn't do it. And I just figured it out because a parent messaged me and said my membership was expired or something. So I have to just do that fast spin. So like I said, I just hope they purchase it. Or if they don't, then I might just do it on my own because I really like using them. And I use them during Google Meets as well.
So do you know what it looks like after the kids finish? Does it just take them out of it, or?
I I'm not sure because I post the links in Google Classroom, and then after we play a game, it says go back or place. I think it says play something else, but I don't know if it looks the same. I think it should actually. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had I had a lot of on my preview cards. I was just kind of playing around and putting images, so I did have a lot just stacked images on top of each other, just because I was kind of showing like all the different things you can put on a card. All right, so any other questions about the boom cards or how to create them, how to access the store, how to get to the ones you've created? They're going to be in your library. You do have this other menu. They have some social media support groups right here, things like that. And I haven't checked out settings. And nothing too interesting in there. There's the membership. So there's where I can change my membership here. And I can change what grades I teach, my language. I'm not following anybody, so I guess if you want to start following some your fellow teachers, you can do that. I'm not sure how to get that started, but that's kind of neat. Or you can help each other out, maybe share boom cards with each other. All right, that is all that I have on boom cards, unless there are any questions. I said I just wanted to give you like a preview about what they are and how to create your own in this session. And if you have any more questions, or if you maybe anything else comes up, just let me know. You can email me, or you can, I don't know, ask your principals, and maybe your principals will start to ask Dave for us too. Like, hey, we're shown this and it's really neat, so maybe we can purchase it. All right, thank you for joining today's session, and I will see you all maybe this afternoon. I have one on PBLs this afternoon, which is really neat. Thank you all.
Anita, I had purchased, accidentally, I didn't even know what they were, but I purchased some on Teachers Pay Teachers. But the weird thing is, like, I don't know how to get to them. I don't know how to use them. And when I try to, I guess, download them into my classroom, it tells me that I only have permission to use 5 for my class. So I don't know. I'm just thinking delete them, but maybe there's a solution to, I don't know. They were really neat. They looked really cool, but I didn't know how to use them from Teachers Pay Teachers.
And how to get them into your free account?
How to get them into my Google Classroom, because I didn't even have an account. I didn't even know. I just thought that was something weird that Teachers Pay Teachers use. So I had not even, I didn't know there was a way to use, I mean, to make them or anything. I just thought that was something that.
So
like,
have you created a boom cards account?
Not yet, no, because I did not. I mean, just now. I didn't want to do it during the in-service.
Oh, okay.
So, go ahead.
I would go ahead and create the account, and then see if you can use it after you've created your account. See how you can get them into your library.
Okay. Let me do
if
that.
you need help from there, getting it into your library, maybe we can set up a meeting later.
Okay, that'll be great. Thank you, Anita.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a good day.
All right, you too.